In this lesson, we will look at some of the domain objectives under Create and Manage Worksheets. We are looking at the topics here, customizing options and views for worksheets and workbooks. So we'll look at hiding and unhiding worksheets. We'll look at the quick access toolbar. So here are the things that we'll look at. So we're looking at a subset of that exam objective. It is quick access, hide worksheets, hide rows and columns, and show formulas. So let's start with this one. This should be second nature by the time you're using Excel, so I won't spend much time on it. It's the quick access toolbar. If you're not familiar with that, I suggest that you watch the course 7 Things Every Human Should Know About Office. In any event, you can click on that button right there to customize the quick access toolbar. So of all of these things here, I maybe recommend in Excel, if you use these things often, that sort, ascending, and descending are useful items to have on the quick access toolbar, and that'll just save you a step of having to go to the Data tab and then using these sort and filter buttons right here. Otherwise, to toggle them on and off, you put the checkbox by them in the list, and if you want to go to more commands, it opens up this backstage view, or at least the options dialog box that you can get to from the backstage view, and then you can choose from any of the commands. All of the available commands can be added to the quick access toolbar. If you want to just hit the reset button, there it is. So I'll cancel out of this and continue on with more of the practical information, and that is the hiding and unhiding of worksheets, rows, and even formulas in the worksheets. So let's start with this one, hiding worksheets. If you're working on a workbook and you want to hide any particular worksheet, all you have to do is give that tab, the worksheet tab, a right click. So if you want to hide SKC ticket sales, then you right click and you choose hide. To unhide any worksheet that you might have in a workbook, all you have to do is right click an existing tab and then you choose unhide. Once you click on that, it brings up a dialog and any hidden sheets will display here, and click on OK to bring back the sheet that you have just hidden. So that's pretty straightforward stuff. The next item we're looking at here is the ability to hide rows and columns. So let's say that you are doing some data analysis on this worksheet and you're just concentrating on the 2018 numbers, and just to declutter the worksheet, you want to hide these columns that have to do with 2017. All you have to do is select the columns. I will click and drag to select 2 columns here, give it a right click, and then you can hide. Now notice that when you're done hiding a column or a row, and this same thing would apply if you are doing the same thing to rows. You can hide rows just as easily as you can a column. But notice that you get this little visual indicator. It's subtle, but there is a kind of a double line between columns E and H. Also, you can just look alphabetically and notice that you have column E and then you have column H. Well, it shouldn't be column H, the next one. So that's an indication that something is hidden, and numerically, the indication would be just the same. You would have numbers that were missing from your list of numbered rows in the worksheet. So undoing that is a little bit more tricky in that you have to select the rows that are holding the hidden rows in between, and then you can give it a right click and unhide to unhide any hidden rows or columns. Now, there is a way to do this from the ribbon, and that is if you go to the Home tab of the ribbon, you go in the cells grouping, and this format drop down holds the hide and unhide visibility toggles here. So you can hide rows, hide columns, hide the sheet. This is another way to hide and unhide any hidden sheets. So that is shown to you. You can unhide any hidden sheets. But in terms of hiding a column or row, we'll do it with a row this time. We'll just select a couple of rows, format, hide and unhide, and then of course you can hide rows and then select and go back up here and unhide rows. Now lastly, we'll take a quick look at this one here, showing formulas. So most of the spreadsheets that you'll work in, if you're doing a calculation, you'll want to have the results of the calculation. And of course, in the name bars up here, the formula bar, you'll be able to see what that formula is. But sometimes you might want all of the formula formula is just displayed so that you don't have to select a cell and look back and forth, and you'll just want the formula used in the cell itself rather than the results of the formula. You can do that by going to the Formulas tab and then using this button right here, Show Formulas. So that obviously will change the layout, or it can change the layout, because a lot of these cells will then become much wider to show you the formula that's used. And then you can see them, and then when you're done, this is a toggle, and you can go back to the results if you need to. There is also a way to do this from the backstage view. You can go to the File tab of the ribbon, open up Options, and then from Options, go to the Advanced Collection of Settings. Now down in this list, you will notice that you will have an item here, which is this, display options for this worksheet. So you can select the worksheet in the drop-down and then choose that checkbox right there, show formulas and cells instead of their calculated results. So we covered quite a bit of ground in this lesson here, but we've covered these exam objectives, and now you have a better understanding of what some of the possibilities are in terms of the display of information in your worksheets.